Aloha, beloveds. Thank you so much for tuning in on this beautiful, bright day. I'm here in Mount Shasta, surrounded by water, and feeling really grateful for my life today, for the sun shining, and for the clouds that carry the water across the land, and eventually we'll be having the rain starting here. It hasn't rained in a really long time, and it's it's been on my mind a lot, how important it is to stay present in each moment and to take time to create a container for yourself to be present. And this is not always an easy accomplishment. Many times we are distracted by life circumstances, family, friends, obligations, responsibilities, and so we continue to do and attend to the people in our lives, which isn't a bad thing, but what I'm realizing more and more is how important it is to find balance in tending to others and tending to yourself. And certainly in my life experience thus far, I've tended a lot of folks. I have 5 children, and I was married for 16 years, and school teacher and caregiver naturally. And I became really burnt out. I became really depleted. My adrenals and my endocrine system were very taxed. My body was very taxed. I was doing too much. I wasn't taking the time to take care of myself. So I have been doing that in my life in the last few years. Every year on my birthday, I go someplace very special to me for a couple months. This year it was Mexico, and to be right near Mama Ocean for 6 weeks. And the year before that it was Maui for a good month, and then the year before that was also Maui. And so I am continuing to take space, a chunk of time once a year around my birthday, to be with myself, to tune into myself, to listen to myself, to allow myself to give birth to whatever I'm ready to give birth to during that time, during the time of my actual physical birth, and to celebrate that, and to celebrate myself, and celebrate my accomplishments, and reflect upon the past, and reflect upon where I'm at, and really take a hard look at what I can do to improve myself and stay true to my soul mission, stay true to what I'm here to do in this life. And I take it very seriously. I really appreciate the spaciousness that I've been given to do that for the past few years. It's helped me tremendously. I also want to speak to how important it is to do that more frequently. For myself, I've been taking at least 2 or 3 solid days a month, if not more, to go out to nature by myself and commune with the land and commune with the elements and listen and tune in and commune with plant medicine and tune into my drum and my voice. And that's what I'm doing here this weekend. I wanted to share how important it is to do that. I feel like one of my callings is to share with others wisdom, and YouTube is available to do that for a lot of people. And I am doing it I feel like in a good way that is in alignment with my soul, sharing what's on my heart, and sharing what's in the field, and sharing what's up for me, because I know frequently what's up for me is up for many, many other folks. And what happens on the micro level is also happening on the macro level. So yeah, it's good to take time to oneself. It's good to take time to meditate and to listen into yourself, to your heart, to remove any clutter or distraction, to just be, to just be. And that can be very challenging for some people because they're so wired and programmed and used to constant stimulation. So when you come outside, it's subtler. The stimulation is subtler. It's still very much there. Frequently, I do feel overwhelmed being outside. The water, the sound of the water, the sound of the wind, all of the visuals that are here, the rocks and the trees and all the different plants can be very overstimulating. But it's quieter. It's an opportunity to be quieter. It's simpler, it's more basic, it's more sensory on a basic level. And I feel that that helps me down-regulate my nervous system. Whereas when I'm in town and there's so much like bright colors and advertising and frequencies from the phones and people talking and lights and just like it's so complex and it's so artificial in a way that doesn't allow for me to feel safe in my body, in my nervous system. I have a really hard time. I remember having panic attacks as a child going into crowded shopping malls. Yeah, it was really hard. I didn't even know what was happening as a child. I just remember feeling scared and feeling very uncomfortable and feeling panicked and frightened. And it wasn't until I became an adult that I realized, oh, I was having panic attacks as a child. I was definitely experiencing classic panic attacks from my nervous system being overwhelmed. And I think many of us who are empaths have very sensitive nervous systems, and it's important, especially for us, to take time outside to downregulate and come back home, come back to a place of ease. And it takes time, it takes time. I'm grateful that I have a few days here to do this. I noticed it when I was in Mexico for 6 weeks. I really got down-regulated. I really got, certainly parts of the journey were stimulating, but when I was sitting near the ocean for 6 or 8 hours a day, I experienced deep, deep, deep calm, peace in my nervous system. So, yeah, another way in which you can calm your nervous system is through drumming. Drumming is a really beautiful way to get in tune with your heart, with your natural rhythm of your heartbeat. And it actually alters your brain state. It puts you into that theta brainwave state if you do a regular drum beat. And that's essentially what shamanic practitioners, shamans used to do and still do to get folks into trance states so they could have visions and they could go into basically an active lucid dreaming state. And it's a very powerful, simple technology, the drum. And it's beautiful in its simplicity, and it's so effective. And I love drumming for myself to help myself calm down. I also love drumming for other people. I've experienced someone drumming for me, and it's really beautiful, the places you can get to. And so I'd highly encourage you to work with a drum. I have this frame drum that I made in Mexico for my birthday. And yeah, it's a drum that I actually made myself with some help. And you can get frame drums online. I highly recommend you make your own, because then you have that special relationship as the maker of the medicine with it, and you can tune into it. My drum was initiated in Mexico in a sweat lodge, and then I brought it out here and use it a lot in ceremony and in Shasta. And Mount Shasta has very special connection to Shasta, I feel like. And yeah, I'm just so grateful for these tools, for these medicine tools, and very grateful for my drum. I was waiting for a long time, for years, for my drum to come, and my drum came this year in 2022 for my birthday, which was 2/22/22. So that's just perfect. And I use my hand to drum sometimes. You can also use a drumstick, which is easier to do the regular beat with. This is a varied beat that I'm using when I sing. But if you want to do the regular, like this, it's a faster, regular, consistent drum beat. Will take you into that theta brainwave state. So may this message find you well, beloveds. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your presence. Again, do my very best to make a video once a day for a little while, as my life is conducive to it. And I have a lot to share, and it's very cathartic for me as well to share through this way. And I've received a lot of feedback from folks that what I'm sharing is very helpful. There's a lot of wisdom that can be gleaned from oneself when we take the time to share with others. That's why I hold regular sharing circles for women, and I'm opening up this sharing circle around dream work here in Ashland for everyone to come and share about their dreams. And if you have a way of sharing, like journaling, writing, audio recording, video recording, speaking with another person, joining a circle where you can share your voice and be witnessed in that, I highly recommend that. It's been deeply cathartic and healing for me and helped me transform in a lot of ways, and very empowering in my voice. I've noticed that my voice has increased. I've been able to speak more freely and have more confidence in talking with folks, and yeah, it's good. It helps open up the throat. And I'd love to hear from you all ways in which you share your truth, your authentic knowingness, and your wisdom. We all have individual wisdom that's important to share with others based on our individual life experiences that nobody else has. So we each have very sacred, unique wisdom to share with the world, and I encourage you to do that. It's super imperative that we continue to share and open up, and I think it's our responsibility and our duty as beings that have individual experiences to share with others, so we can weave like that, so we can weave our soul medicine together and create that strong web of support and bond with others and create communities like that by sharing deep, vulnerable experiences, and how we're feeling our feelings, sharing our feelings. Yeah, the soul is feeling, the soul is emotion, the soul is here to experience emotion. And so when we share our emotion, when we share our feelings to others, we are actually sharing our soul. We are weaving our souls together. We are allowing our soul to express and be witnessed in the experiences. The soul is a recorder. It records our experiences, and it feels at the same time. It feels a response to our experiences, and that's emotion. And emotions are so beautiful and such a gift, you know. I really appreciate my emotional body. I really appreciate the part of me that expresses emotions. All the emotions. All the emotions should be welcome. Frustration and anger and sadness and grief and elation and ecstasy and all of these things. They're so welcome. And the more we can hold space and learn how to hold space for ourselves for those emotions to be expressed, the more we can tune into how to hold space for others to express those emotions. And that's the medicine that we need right now. We really need us, all of us, to be able to hold space for emotions. And It starts with ourselves. It starts with ourselves being vulnerable to share and express emotionally. And that can be challenging sometimes because we've been so programmed, especially men, not to express our emotions, to keep it together, to stay in a certain stoicness, to look really strong, but meanwhile inside you've got all these emotions raging, and there's like a great storm, and it creates disease. It creates disease. So if you want to be sick, if you want to have disease, then keep your emotions inside and don't express them. But if you want to be well, if you want to be healthy, if you want to be liberated, if you want to be clear and clean inside, if you want to feel that lightness and the joyfulness and the sweetness of life has to offer, then express your emotions somehow, through singing or talking or drawing or writing, painting, dancing, you know, toning, creating medicine, cooking. There's so many creative outlets. Just really, really appreciate the multiplicity of creative outlets that we have available to us as human beings. And I think it's really important that we continue to cultivate and witness each other in that and encourage each other in that, to take time to be creative and express ourselves that way. So yeah, I guess that was also something I needed to share today. So I appreciate you all listening, and thank you so much for tuning in. I welcome any responses, feedback, curiosities, questions. Please post comments here in the description on YouTube so others can see what's on your mind and your heart in response to these messages. I very much appreciate those folks who continue to watch and subscribe to my channel and support this creative outlet for me. You know, it's been really, really helpful and beautiful. So thank you so much for supporting me in that. And may you be blessed. May you feel well. May you be supported in your life, in your communities, in your families. And like I said, if this video even just helps encourage one person out there, I really feel like my soul mission is complete, and just really love the awareness that I am assisting in some way, and not even knowing how that happens, but I know that every action that we take, every word that we speak, every breath that we take, it creates a change in the world. It's a ripple effect. Even our thoughts certainly create a shift in our reality and a shift in the collective reality. So yeah, it's good to be mindful of that, and really set our intention to how we want that change to come about. You know, what direction. We have so much power to create change in the world, and it starts with ourselves. So blessed be. Aloha.